And the business makes money, and the business ain't going to be trailer parking around trying to figure out how we're going to charge a battery on the fly. You know, when you make money with your business, you got to put money back in the business, whatever that may be. Okay, y'all, good morning, good morning. It's not really morning, it's late. It's 10:30. It rains, so we're not working. So I'm getting a lot of calls about the fairs, and I've been getting a lot of calls about it, but I haven't really, had time. Sometimes to me, man, and it's just me, because I value time a lot more than a lot of other people do. I know that, I need to wash this, I need to clean this freaking truck out too. But I'm getting calls a lot of stuff I need to do today. So I need to I need to get a couple batteries, more Milwaukee batteries. The batteries that I have, they're all dying. I mean, and I don't know if that's the norm, but they've lasted 2 years. And we're talking about a lot of use, y'all. Every time y'all guys have seen me in the man lift, the Milwaukee. Every time y'all see us do bush job, Milwaukee. But yesterday I had 5 batteries and we ran out, and we really shouldn't have ran out. I mean, I've done jobs like that with less than 2 batteries. Now the job yesterday, it paid okay, but it didn't pay, top dollar like I would like to have made. I only charged him $1,400. So the good thing is I didn't have to pay for the dump, and another good thing is I only had to make 1 trip to the dump, and I charged him $200 for that. So the rest of the $1,200 was for me and Zach, and we was over there we was over there a pretty good while. We probably got 5 hours of working time over there. So, it's okay money, better than nothing, but they're regular, they hire me on the reg. They want me to do a bunch of French drainage over there. A lot of times just having a machine on a job like the Bobcat is enough to get another job or two. And then some. You never know what another job or two will lead to. It could lead to a lot of problems, or it could lead to a vast customer pickup. So you just never know what you're gonna get, man, right? At the end of the day, when I factor in everything that it took to do that job, the business probably made about $700 profit. I don't really like to too tough talk about what we charge. Well, I don't mind talking about what we charge, but I'm talking about, because what you charge and what you actually make is 2 totally separate numbers. I mean, they're not even, so I don't know, I see a lot of these people come on YouTube or just in general, Facebook or whatever, and they talk about how much money they make. But then when you really break it down, they're really not making what they say. They're charging that, and, but they're not making that. To me, when you talk about making a certain amount of money, well, it's what you actually can put in the bank that ain't costing you. Yesterday, after I paid labor and intangibles and fuel, I can safely say the business profited about $700, which is about a 60%, give or take, I know it's not exact, profit on that job. And I know people, well, you ain't count this. I've counted everything. I could not come up with more expenses, and I can do that, and you should be able to do that pretty much hardcore in your head for what we do. Now, it's a little bit different if you're having to rent equipment, or you're making payments on equipment, or you're having to factor in all these factors. See, I own the equipment, so that makes it really easy for me, right? And once all the equipment is paid for, like all the attachments in there are all paid for, once all that stuff's paid for, then everything that you make off of that stuff is you know, goes toward a bigger profit. So yeah, that. If I factor in fuel and it's $180, that's $200 in fuel. If I factor in you know, wear and tear, then I'm gonna make it a round even number. Hard, I mean, I could probably sit down with a calculator and a calendar and break it down to what it costs per minute or to have this truck and have it on the road. But none of that's just a big waste of, well, time to me. So there's been a lot of debate over time, y'all, you know, talking about big yards or little yards. You know, what's the preference? Well, which one's the best, right? Well, it's all according to your location and also your equipment, right? See, the reason I like the big yards is because I'm geared for it. That's kind of what I built the business around. I'm all about the big yards, you know. But there's been a lot of debate over the years, and each side has its points, right? You know, I like the big yards. That's the number one reason why I like the big yards. People ask me that all the time. Why do I like the big yards? Well, there's a couple reasons, but one of the reasons is because I don't like to have all that drive time. Now, but I do it all. Don't get me wrong. I'll do all the yards. I'll weigh each situation independently, and I've been known to buy a lawnmower based on just a couple properties. I'm always going to be thinking like, okay, you know, you can't never say no to a certain demographic or area or whatever. What I like most about doing the big yards is you tend to retain the customers longer. That might be, you know, true in your area or not, but in my area, the bigger the property, the longer I usually have that customer. You know, that's a fact. It does. I mean, because now you're, you know, saving your time for, well, to me, the big cuts have a couple of bad things about them too. The big cuts, well, it's probably a little bit harder on the mowers. You know, I don't know that it's worthy of, you know, coming up with a number. It'd be so minute, but there is a certain wear and tear that you get moving you know, taking a mower on and off a trailer, you know, pulling a trailer around. There's a certain inherent risk by having a trailer. That's, you know, that's a given. So my thinking is, if I can just use the machines that are paid for and, you know, charge, you know, a nice number, then it's up to me to put myself in a scenario to make money at that number. That's how you learn and grow as an entrepreneur, if you ask me. Now, you know, I'm not, you know, but that's how you know that you are doing what you think you need to be doing, right? So, well, I think the big ones are more lucrative if you got the right equipment. You know, I was thinking about this traffic up here and all this shit. But just going from neighborhood to neighborhood, and even you know, in the smaller neighborhoods, I will, and I never say never. I got jobs in these neighborhoods, right? I got customers in these neighborhoods, but they're not my preference. You know, I'm gonna do the work just the same as long as everything is cool and they're paying and all that, and they don't get, you know, too crazy. Then, you know, I'll do them. But they're gonna pay a little bit, a little bit more. We got that one over here, the one that we do every week. He's wanting to start back up in April 1st. So I went up on him substantially. I went up $30 on him. So, I'm not going up on every customer, but I am trying to get a little bit more from most. I don't know, man. It just seems like to me, if you can do the big cuts and some of the little cuts, that's a great scenario to be in. Being hung up with the little cuts, that's a lot of labor, a lot of walking around and all that. You get on these great big cuts and you let the machine make the money for you. You just pimp the machine pretty much. You get on these, to me, and this is just my opinion. It's not, and I do it. I'm not, when you get on these smaller properties, there's a lot more walking around. There's a lot more things that can go wrong, and there's a lot more detail, involved, right? And the drive time to stop and and all that. To be able to do enough volume in one day to where and I've done it and I'll do it now, and I'm not saying I don't. So don't get it twisted. I'm just saying that I'd rather do the bigger properties, and when I do the bigger properties, the customers tend to last a lot longer. You know why? Let me tell you why. The reason why is because can't everybody cut the big stuff, but damn near anybody can cut the little stuff. Well, anybody can cut the big stuff, but can't make money at it, right? There's a big difference, See, I can cut the little stuff, maybe not as good as somebody with a stand-on mower or whatever, but I can do them. And, but that's really not what I want to do. I want to pull up to a property, spray the fence line, and hop on a mower and let that mower do the work. And, okay, 20 acres, let 4 mowers do the work. So my thing is, just keep a freaking good lawnmower ready to roll. Because I can ride on the back of these mowers, on the back of the lawnmowers if you're doing big cuts. You're not relying so much on all the little detail. Though I do all the little detail too. I don't want anybody to think that I don't, because I do. I just prefer to pull up, start cutting, and not have to do none of the detail. Let the machines do everything. Everything. The machines must do everything. And that's where I like to be. Now, but I make money in the mom and pop yards too, y'all see the properties that I do. Y'all do not see me up in those tight neighborhoods very often, because I don't want to be. But by the fact that I'm a lawn care provider, I have to. The money's right. Most of the properties I do are a little bit more, I don't want to say country, because they're just bigger manicured areas, that justify hiring somebody. The good thing that people don't think about when you're doing the big cuts is, can't anybody just cut the big cuts for money and make money at it and be okay with it? So another thing that occurs is the customer's a lot more grateful to you and a lot more indebted to you, because they know they're going to catch hell to find somebody else they can cut their 15 acres every 2 weeks. Do it up in the neighborhood, $60. If they a dime a dozen up in them neighborhoods. There's so much competition and shit over here where I live at, that hell, you got to wait on one landscaping company to move their trailer so you can pull your trailer in. They all over the place, fighting for the same dollars. So the homeowners not all of them, but the homeowners over in those areas, they're like, well, if he don't want to do it, honey, then Johnny will do it. If he don't want to do it, Julio will do it. If he don't want to do it, Steve will do it. Whatever, for peanuts, they're not. And that's what's really gets lost in that conversation, is because in that conversation you got to know that the machine's going to do all the work. You got to create a longevity, and the customer in that scenario, the customer has to, is a lot more indebted to you. You know why? Because they know that what it's like to get out there and cut them 15 acres. They know and the wear that it has on machines. They know that their 5 broke down mowers sitting there under the shed ain't cutting it no more. Because over time, I've seen customers with 10 lawnmowers behind the shed somewhere, and none of them work because they was cutting a big field for years, and then they just buy another mower, just buy another mower, buy another mower. None of the mowers of high quality. So the homeowner that has the 15 acres, for the most part, they're elderly and they just want somebody to cut it, right? Or they could be young and just bought a piece of property and they want to maintain it. Had that happen. I've had it happen for developers and stuff where they're going to develop the property next year. Ray, go over there and cut it for, and I might cut it for 3 years, and then bam, they'll develop it. That's happened a lot over in my area. But that's just some food for thought. The customers that in the neighborhoods, they don't value you as much as a 10-acre cutter, owner. They don't. Because it's hard to find people that can make money cutting 10 acres and be okay with it. You have to throw a lot of resources at it, and I mean machines. And if you got to do a bunch of detail, it ain't worth it. Pull up, drop the ramp, hop on a mower, drop it on 3.25, and go. And don't even have to crank up a blower, a weed eater, or nothing. Come on, man. Y'all know, y'all love that, wouldn't you? It's cool. But I'm finna pull up over here to my store, and the Milwaukee place. I might take the GoPro in with me. I don't know how much battery power is in it. It's always acting stupid. Okay, y'all. So y'all see where I'm at. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna try to get. Let me come outside. My goal is to find a couple of big batteries, but I don't know. Might have to order them. Look, y'all. Same thing as last time. Look, they got all this Milwaukee stuff, man. This is crazy. I mean, you never see this much stuff in one spot, really. And if you ain't a Milwaukee fan, then check across the aisle there. Look. They got the DeWalt too. Deep. Look at all that. That's crazy, man. I have been wanting to get one of these, y'all. I really have, man. How much is that, dude? Dude, look, y'all. That's $110 off plus 15%. Dude, that is nice, man. I think I'm gonna get one of them, y'all. What is that one? Oh, 100. Dude, I gotta have it, man. I have got to have it. I've been wanting one of these. Should be good to cut big branches. I don't know, y'all, man. I ain't gonna get that. I'm just gonna get the batteries. Oh, And it's a dangerous place to be, y'all. For me. Expensive. So I'm gonna have to, I can't. See, with that music going in the background, YouTube's not gonna let me post it. So I'm gonna have to do a voiceover on this video. Oh man, I don't like doing voiceovers. But they got pretty much everything, man. So I'm just walking through and gonna do a voiceover, but y'all see all this Milwaukee stuff. Chainsaws, everything, and it's all in great condition. I'm having to do the voiceover because the music was going in the background. So I'm just gonna kind of just let the video do what it do, let y'all just look. Yeah. Yeah. This is a pretty cool tool right here too. What, 85 bucks. See, usually once you get the tool, you're in the game. And it's just about putting batteries at it, man. The tools last forever. So, the grinders. You got new stuff and stuff on the counter. This, I got one of these last time. They sell a lot of stuff too, because this thing is packed. No way. 90. All right, y'all. So I got 3 batteries. This one right here is 190, and it's the 12 HD. So we're gonna give it a shot. And then you got one 8XC. These are brand new. And then you got another 8XC. So and these right here are 115. See that? Yeah. Wow. And that's for 8. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good price. And this was the same thing. So but this is the Mac Daddy here, y'all. This is supposed to be the best battery. It's heavy. That better be. But you gotta keep investing, right? You know, I can't. You know, we're going into the season, man. These are little things that people don't think about that you have to spend money on. Well, you don't have to go in there and spend, you know, that money on them. But you really do need to be the most efficient. And that's what we want to be. At least that's what I want to be. I want to be the most efficient possible. And when the batteries start going down, if you get 2 years use out of the batteries, you know, I mean, and we're making thousands of dollars with these batteries, man. I mean, you're talking about pennies per use. And we still got the batteries. I mean, we're still using them. But what's happened is they're not charging up all the way. And I've got like 4 of them that are like that. And it's becoming an issue. And the business makes money, and the business ain't going to be trailer parking around trying to figure out how we're going to charge a battery on the fly. You know, when you make money with your business, you got to put money back in the business, whatever that may be. You know, and sometimes it's not an instant, you know, recognition that you did it. Like these batteries right here will actually make the other batteries last longer. So, you know, there's that. And we're getting into a point in the year where I'm not going to have time to be doing all this kind of thing. You know, we're going to be trimming a lot of heads. My dealer over here in Palmetto, I got some. Well, I just went to the parts department. I didn't go into the showroom or nothing. I ended up getting. Well, I want to change the hydro fluid. I got the filter, the new filters already. So I want to change the hydro fluid on the mower that I'm hopefully going to be using this summer, which is the fuel injected Exmark. That's the mower that if it runs, if it'll stay from surging, that's the one that I'm going to be running all summer. So there's a few things I want to do to it, with it, for it, or whatever, how you want to look at it, before it starts getting run hardcore. So, because that's the oldest machine I got. You know, Exmark. It's got, you know, 3,000 hours on it, and the engine is relatively, you know, about, well, a little more than half, I mean, a little less than half life. Should be able to at least get 2,000 hours out of that fuel injected engine, maybe more if you know. But I got oil, I got hydro oil, filters. I already had the hydro filters, like I said, and they're expensive. I just got one. I just got this for the Exmark that I'll be using. One air filter, and then I got this. This is critical, y'all. This right here was $70, $67 for this, man. I don't know, man. I'll have to look that up and see if I can get that cheaper somewhere, because one thing about Exmark is I've had to change these out quite a few times over the years. I mean, at least once every couple of seasons, you know. For real. For real. But $67 for this. So after the batteries and stuff for the mower, you know, including the air filter, motor oil, and hydro, 2 quarts of the hydro oil, because I got a half a gallon at home. So that'll give me 4 quarts. And I don't know what the book says, but the mechanics have always told me, and I've changed them a couple times, the mechanics have always told me that you know, put about 2 quarts in each side after you know, change the filters out. You know, half and half, and they sell it by the gallon, and a gallon is like $55. Yeah, eat the hell out of $3 $20 bills, for real. It's just expensive, man. I mean, I don't see how people can. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't see how people can you know, do this type of work real cheap, man. So, you know, my thinking is always, when we're in the middle of the summer, I don't want to have to stop and spend money on anything. I want to be able to just grind. And there's never, I mean, ever a good time to, you know, when, you know, from April, the middle of April, all the way through September, there's never a good time to have to go chase batteries and stuff, you know. I ain't gonna wait till we get out on a job and the freaking and we run out of battery power. I ain't gonna wait till that happens. All right, y'all know what it is. It's Sammy Time Friday. Peace out.